Welcome to the Dawg Chug. Roger, don't ever leave us high and dry again. That was terrible last week. You can't ever not be on the show. You got to be here every week. The timing was off. Ed was more annoying than usual. I was awful. Ross was great, but he's always great. It doesn't work without you.
Andy, I actually was a viewer. I watched it live because I was in the hotel room. We had a double suite or whatever. But so I listened in, and it was the best podcast I watched all week.
Well, believe you there.
It was strange. It was strange. Was it like 12? I don't even know how many we've done. This is the first one on it. It was weird, man. It was weird not doing it. I'm glad to be back. You guys did awesome. Can I tell the pool story? Can I tell the story I showed my wife the phone?
Sure.
When you guys are doing the top 10, I'm sitting there watching you guys are doing the top 10 and what it was. And I'll go over to my wife and I said, hey, look, they're doing the top 10. And we're by the swimming pool and my eyes are a little watery. And she said, are you crying? And I said, no, I'm not crying. It was a great show. You guys, I was on that show more than I've been on any episode of Dawg Chug, and I wasn't there.
That is true. You were featured way more than usual.
Right. I like to hang back, way back here.
What happened to your finger? Tell the story. The audience.
Oh, it's just a typical, injury. Not typical, but I cut it with a bandsaw. I was cutting stainless steel pipe, and the pipe just rolled on me, and just got away from me, and it grabbed my finger and it pulled it in, and it cut it all the way across the top, all the way in half, and nicked the bone. And I watched him reset it, and I actually saw my bone in my socket, and he pulled it out and he popped it back in socket. And I asked him, I said, "Could you do that again so I can film it for our podcast?" And he said no, because they hit me with some Novocaine here. You could have chopped my finger off. I wouldn't have known it.
Oh, what a communist.
But I sat and watched it. So other than that, it's coming along great, man. I'm down to just this little sling. And
wow.
Tuesday I go and I think they take the stitches out. I don't know. They look good, though. I've been keeping it clean and that. So thank you for asking. I lived. It was no dead plumber story. Just and then Twitter banned my pictures and they locked me out Gore for showing the pictures that
really?
They made me take it down. Yeah, for Gore.
Show injury pictures on Twitter. I didn't know that. Maybe that'll change if Elon takes over.
Yeah. So, how about you? How you doing? That's enough about me.
Great. This weekend we had a blast going to the big Top Dog tailgate. Everyone that's watching should go attend that event next time. It was very well run. We all had a great time. And I got to meet
That's right.
this guy. It's out in Columbus, and I got to meet him in person.
Me too. First time. Hugged him. I couldn't stop hugging him.
And it was completely an honor meeting you, by the way.
The pleasure was all yours. Roger, the pleasure was all mine. Andy, last week without Roger, yes, Roger, you are a valuable part of the Dawg Chug. Munch says you're the best part of the Dawg Chug. But let's not get one
we
thing
never
unclear.
Played that video.
I was still on the show last week, so it was still great. Andy, I will say one thing. I got to be extra nice to you tonight. It's his 2-week anniversary with his girlfriend that he knocked up. So congratulations, Andy. I hope you had a great day.
Today is actually my 3-year anniversary. We're going to celebrate tomorrow, though, since it was rainy.
That's right. Actually, you talked about bouncing it, and I thought Thursday was your anniversary. Happy anniversary to you and Heather, and future mansion, baby mansion, your daughter, everybody.
I did the calculations today. 75% of those 3 years were spent trapped in quarantine. And
hey, Andy,
if you could survive 22 months or whatever it is trapped in quarantine, then I think you're good, right?
I think so. Yeah.
This is day 61 of the Baker Mayfield hostage situation. Is this year 3 of the hostage situation you have with your wife?
Correct. Yes. Although we're going to get this daughter vaccinated soon, and then I will be able to come out. I can't wait. It's gonna be amazing. Ed, it seemed like you had a rough day today. How's everything going? How are you feeling?
Doing good, re-energized. You know what I always say, coming on the Dawg Chug 10 o'clock, no matter how good or bad the week is, this is a show unto itself. This, I actually look for 1 hour to go head to head with Andy. And, sometimes it's fun. Sometimes, what I'm saying, we go ahead. But you know what? It's always fun entertainment. Roger, I missed you. And so I'm looking forward to this hour, and we're going to stay in the moment. Maybe that's my problem, Andy. You said that I'm sometimes all over the place. You need to stay in the moment. The moment's going to be the Dawg Chug tonight. Let's have a great show.
Can I tell the story? Can I tell you a quick story about Ed on Saturday?
I just have one quick question.
Go ahead.
When has the Dawg Chug been under an hour?
Well, let's see. It's added bonus then. It's like soccer, added bonus. So even better, Andy. Roger, yes. Any story about Ed in Columbus? Go ahead and rock it.
Well, no, just you and I, Nick Carnes, and his very patient and resilient fiance. Avita sat there, and we sat there. I was there till 9, and you guys didn't leave till 10. And every once in a while, Ed would just get up and spontaneously breakdance.
I caught a spirit. And maybe being back home in Cleveland, because it's unpopular with maybe people that don't like me, but I actually am a native-born Clevelander. So when you're mad about my Browns takes, just remember this: that's my soil I came from. That's my soil.
It was my best Saturday Night Lives, or my best Saturday night since like the Die Hard thing about 3 Saturdays ago when they played all the movies in a row.
Thank
That's
you.
praise indeed. So our good friend Dan Extra Crispy Wings wants to pop on.
Beautiful.
He's usually annoying. He brings the show down. Can't talk.
Worse than me.
Should we bring him on? What do you guys think?
I'm feeling lucky.
I'm on it. Dan's my favorite.
The diehards, yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. Is that what he said?
All right. Well, if anyone has to use the restroom or anything, now would probably be the time to do it.
Yes.
Dan, welcome to tonight's Dawg Chug. How's it going tonight?
It's going pretty good. I'm not drunk. Don't have no Xanax.
I can almost hear every word. Which is
I'm on antibiotics because I had strep throat.
Andy,
but Ed,
Andy, before you continue, Andy, can you do me a favor? Make a public service announcement that we do not condone the drugs of one Dan Hornmouth, because I don't want people to think that the things that he's saying. I like the party. We can't get behind.
People are free to live their own lives.
Shut the fuck up, because you're from Olmsted Falls. You're not from Cleveland.
North Olmsted.
You live in Columbus. You wear a goddamn gun everywhere you go. Like, I can't respect you, man.
You don't anyways. Look, Dan, I can produce a birth certificate, unlike maybe former presidents or whatever. I can produce birth certificates that not only give my age of 42, which has been under, dispute over the last couple of months, but I can produce a birth certificate that says birthplace, Cleveland, Ohio. Something MGK can't even do.
It says Fairview, Ohio.
No, it actually says
Fairview
Cleveland. I don't know.
Fairview Hospital. Yeah, Ed, you shut the fuck up, you son of a bitch.
Dan, back in
shut your mouth.
Part of Cleveland.
I think we need to calm down.
All right,
All right, hold on.
I'm appreciative though, Dan, that we can see you. That there's light. This is amazing. This is your best appearance yet, even though it's been pretty boring.
Ed's very triggering.
So, Dan, do you have anything on your mind about the Browns? Anything you wanna drop out there for people? You have a lot of interesting thoughts.
No, I think honestly, the Perrion Winfrey was a very, very great pickup for the Browns. I think he's gonna be like, if the Browns don't pick him up, which will be really stupid if they don't, he's gonna be a dominant force in the NFL.
If they don't pick up Clowney or
Winfrey, like if they don't keep Winfrey, like, because they could cut him because they picked him as a rookie.
They took him in the 4th round. You usually don't get 4th round pick cut their rookie year.
Well, either that or they put him on the practice team. Like, you don't, like, he's gonna be great.
All right, Dan, I'm going to put you on assignment. I want you to pop in next week. Go out there and find as many 4th round picks you can find that were put on a practice squad or cut their rookie year.
We'll see.
Fascinating conversation, because I believe
Dan.
Winfrey is going to be on the team 100%, as long as he's healthy.
All right.
This was an excellent appearance. I hope you're back soon. Thank you.
Best one he's had. Best one he's ever had.
That was really good. You got to watch the other appearances with Dan, and then you'll understand how good that was.
And the take was classic, Dan, too.
You know what? The fact that he's not on drugs and the things that he was saying, I don't know. Maybe on drugs, he actually says smarter things. He just doesn't stay awake.
I got to bring Ross on. Ross, how's the show going tonight?
It's pretty. That was Dan's best appearance, but that's
Yes,
like saying Ed. That's like saying Ed had a good show.
How would you grade the first 10 minutes of the show, though?
I mean, pretty good. Dan's definitely more naturally entertaining than any of us.
Yeah,
That's true.
Yeah.
Whether he's on the various drugs he explained he wasn't on or not.
So you get mad at me, Andy, but that's what Dan wants. Dan wants to fight with me. I don't know. You know what it is, Andy? People want to come on the show and fight with me. You just got to let him get that 3 or 4 minutes out. I didn't want to hear what he had to say. But then he starts talking about the Browns. He actually starts talking about a topic. And it's like, dude, take drugs, because whatever's coming out of your mouth right now, you're giving people that don't do drugs a bad name.
But I do agree with him. I think the guy we drafted, we should try to keep.
What was that about? Andy, your face. I was looking at you like, what does he mean?
I think it's stick. I think it's
with him all the time, and he makes a lot of sense.
He's not wrong. No, he's not wrong.
I'm convinced it's an act, because he doesn't say things like that in the chat. We talk to Dan all day.
There's a lot of pressure to, being on the Dawg Chug.
Yeah.
You got
you're right
5
about that.
people watching the show.
Right. USA,
Okay.
yeah.
Well, I think we're gonna bring on our feature guest, and hopefully we can get the bad juju of Dan. So we're bringing on for the second time to the Dawg Chug, our good friend Noodle. What's up, Noodle? Should we call you Clyde or Noodle? I never know.
Noodle's fine.
All right.
Everybody calls me Noodle. I call myself Clyde. That's kind of the difference there.
Got it. All right. Well, welcome to the show. We're so glad to have you back. We got to see you at the Big Top Dog tailgate this weekend and had a lot of fun. It was great meeting you in person.
I met you. He was down at the tailgate. That's where correct. I first met Brian or Noodle. And then you were leaving as I was coming in. I got there so late. And I'm glad I was able to, at least you said, "Hey, Roger, how you doing?" And then, it's like when I first walked in, you were kind of heading out, weren't you?
Yeah, I think so. That was before the
car. For a minute, yeah. But at least I caught you. Ross, too. He had to go.
The tailgate started at 1 and ended at about 6. And Roger strolled in at about 5:55. It was great.
Extra innings, man. We had extra innings. My son had extra innings.
It was fashionably late, and everyone was so excited when you showed up. So good on you. All right. Well, let's get to Spit Sip Chug. Ed, do you want to sit in tonight for Spit Sip Chug? I like hearing your
take. I got my Mountain Dew. I'm ready to go.
All right,
why don't you go? I'll watch. You
monitor the comments. Okay. So I got 4 questions. Messed it up. 4 statements. Everyone has played this game before, but for the audience, I'm going to make a statement. If you agree with it strongly, you're going to chug. Explain why. If you're tepid, you're going to sip. And if you strongly disagree, you're going to spit. So our first statement tonight, the Cleveland Guardians are having a poor season with a 16-18 record. Noodle / Clyde, we're going to start with you.
Oh. Guardians are fine. I mean, the record's better than a lot of people thought, and I think the record's deceiving when it comes to how well they've actually played. They're hitting better than anybody would have expected. And their pitching's been solid, even though Bieber's starting a little slower than normal. McKenna's been great, even though his record doesn't reflect it.
Okay. So you are spitting on that one.
Yeah, I'm pleasantly surprised.
All right. Ed?
Well, I don't disagree with anything he said, but I do want to take a sip because I really do just want to take a sip. But anytime you're under 500 and, there were some games that, I think that, you could have won. But to your point, I mean, I would rather have the hitting be better than the pitching because I think the pitching will figure itself out. And the fact that the hitting has been so good and kind of unexpected, it's like, let's be real. The last couple of years, even when the Tribe at the time was good, they still couldn't hit in April. And I mean, it was still struggling all year to do what they're doing. So it's fun to watch even if they lose. So I'm sipping because once again, I just want to take another sip, but good answer, Noodle.
All right, Roger.
I'm spitting on it. I'm spitting on it because I had him at 90 wins, and they're a streaky team. They're going to go through. We're going to see them play great baseball for 10 days and play horrible baseball for 3 series on the road. Or, it's just going to be that back and forth. But I firmly believe that they made the right choice in, not picking up free agents, not paying a bunch of veterans, to go out and play in the outfield and let these young players play baseball. I firmly believe in that. So I'm spitting on it. The record doesn't mean anything to me this year. I still say they're going to win 90 games. Though.
All right. Well, I'm also going to spit on this one. So Ed is the lone dissenter.
Only technicality wise, but I agree with the sentiment.
Basically, I think the season's right on track with where I thought they would be. Obviously, the hitting is a much better than I thought it would be, but maybe the pitching hasn't been as consistent as we hoped as it was to start last year. That's going to come around. The hitting will probably fall apart as soon as the pitching comes around. And this team will continue struggling all season long, and it'll be frustrating if you're looking for wins, but it'll be a lot of fun if you're looking to watch guys develop, which we're clearly doing. And I can't wait for the next year of Guardians baseball. So,
right,
great job, everyone. Let's move it along. Okay. In your opinion, Deshaun Watson should be suspended 4 to 6 games this season. Did I say that wrong? In your opinion?
No, I think you might be right.
Okay. Ed, let's start with you.
I'm going to say, should he be? You know what? I don't know. I'm not the morality police, but I will say one thing. I look at the Browns' schedule, Andy, and I see the first 4 games, and it's like, it looks like some red meat right there. No matter if Jacoby Brissett or even the Dobbs kid was playing. I think we could be 3-1, 4-0. So, I kind of hope that he would just take it, get it over with, and let's march on to a nice, successful season.
All right.
So what am I doing? Did I sip and what am I doing?
I don't know. I think you're.
Well, whatever I said, I want to just take maybe I'll chug whatever.
Oh, you said you didn't want to be the morality police. You're saying you don't think he should be suspended.
I do think he should be. I do think he should because even Ben got 4 games, so just you got to give him something.
All right, Roger.
I think he should be. I guess I'm gonna sip on it because he should be definitely serve a suspension when he's either proven guilty of something or cops a plea.
Yeah.
And admits fault in something. Right now, what the NFL is doing is judging him on their moral scale. And then my question is, well, which moral scale is it? Is it for these people over here and the owners? Is it for the black quarterback that's going to be the scapegoat that covers up a lot of mess, like an owner stealing from the other owners, Kraft. Just which set of morals are you going to apply to the players versus the owners? And that's what it's come down to now. And they say they want the integrity of the game as far as fans view the NFL. I think don't ask me what I think of the NFL. I love the Cleveland Browns I have since a little kid. It wasn't for the Cleveland Browns, I would give a shit about the NFL. So that's where I stand. So what is that? A spit, sip?
I think it's good answer.
Yeah. So he should serve a suspension when the process is through.
Got it. I am I'm in agreement with everything everyone's saying, but I am going to chug on this one and explain why in a second.
So I don't even know what we were supposed to do. It's just such a good question. It's just I don't know.
Basically, he made the NFL look really bad. Obviously, he put himself in a terrible position. Yeah. Obviously, I don't care if he wins all 22 civil cases. He should still probably pay some price. He clearly was propositioning women. I have a problem with that. Not a huge problem with that, but enough that he should pay some crime. So I think the 4 to 6 game is right in the wheelhouse where he should pay. I do agree with Roger, though, that I think until this gets settled, the NFL might want to wait. Because
they might want to. I don't want to wait, though. I don't want to wait.
Yeah, I want to get this over with, which is why I'm saying just suspend him, get it over with. Like Ed points out, well, we'll talk about that. I have another question about that. So I am chugging. He should be suspended. He's not innocent in this. I don't think he's as guilty as he looks, but he's clearly not innocent. So go ahead and take your slap on the wrist and come back and let's play some football. Noodle.
Yeah.
I'll do something in between a sip and a chug on it.
There you go.
Making my own rules. Sorry. It's hard to say what the NFL should do. They don't really have a good track record of consistency when it comes to off the field issues. You know, people get suspended for years for smoking weed, and you can break some girl's jaw and be back on the field in a few weeks. So hard to tell where their head's at, but definitely got to suspend him some amount of time, you would think, especially with the MLB, you know, sitting Bauer down for a couple of years. And he had like one person try to bring a charge against him that got dismissed completely, and they still suspended him. Deshaun Watson's got 22 of those working against him. So I'd be shocked if there wasn't anything. 4 to 6, I would say. I bet it's 4 games if I had to bet.
Yeah. And correct me if I'm wrong, but because I don't know a ton about the case, but with the Bauer case, was he not really cooperating and trying to hide evidence? Like, didn't he break a phone or something?
That I don't know.
I believe there was
I-
something about him like not really cooperating with MLB. You know, I haven't really heard anything with Watson to suggest that he's not, but you know, Bauer is kind of a strange cat, so that could have something to do with why his case is so extreme. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you're right. I don't know if it was like obstructing, but I think he was questioning Major League Baseball. I think when they were trying to pry into it, he didn't like that.
Bauer was accused of actual assault. This woman was in the hospital with bruises and a black eye and a busted nose and just horrible things under her. She was beat up, man. You know what I mean? That's much different when there was physical assault, which I can't believe they didn't. Whatever happened after that, I stopped paying attention to drama. But the pictures they showed that she accused Bauer of beat her up pretty bad.
It was, it is sort of disturbing, and it does feel more like there's maybe less predatory behavior with Watson. But of course, some women are saying it was. So a lot of things, information needs to come to light, which maybe it never will. Obviously, the NFL handles things differently than baseball does. So we shall see. Anyway, let's move it along. Ross actually came up with another Guardians question. So here we go.
Oh, wow.
The Guardians have the top batting average in the American League, but the Guardians will no longer be a pitching powerhouse and be an offensive juggernaut for the next 3 years. And let's see. I think, Roger, we're going to start with you. I'm
going to spit on that. See, I'm practicing, Andy, at work. I practice spitting. I'm going to spit on that because, first of all, our minor league, our farm system is loaded with young pitching talent. We're one of the best farm systems in Major League Baseball, and it's just next man up. You know, Plesac's horrible this year. And there's kids in Columbus right now ready to come up because they're dominating. Same thing in the bullpen. There's kids, I don't know why they haven't brought one of them up. But also, we're not going to be an offensive juggernaut because nobody in baseball is going to be an offensive juggernaut because they're playing with dead balls. And this is station-to-station baseball that the Indians are leading the major leagues in batting average and up there and run batted in because they're playing station-to-station old-style baseball. Nobody's hitting home runs out of the ballpark like crazy, you know, and I think that's the way the owners want it right now. So, yeah, spitting.
All right, I am also spitting. And this is an easy one. Yeah, like, as Roger points out, the pitching in our minor leagues is just ridiculous. Like the prospect of losing Sean Bieber in free agency doesn't even begin to worry me because there's going to be so many guys that are also amazing. The Guardians will continue being pitching juggernaut. I know it's been a little slow, 25% through the season, but it will pick up, and you'll continue to see some new faces that are great. So excited for that. Noodle.
We'll do a sip just because, you know, why not be both?
Sure. I love it.
Okay.
You know, you're going to get Lil Naylor coming up, joining his psychopath of a big brother. Jose is going to keep raking because that's what he does. So
what he does.
Brand Meal, hopefully he can start hitting a little bit better for average, but he's going to keep knocking them out the park. So, why not be both? Hitting juggernaut and a pitching juggernaut.
Love it.
Yep.
Ed.
Yep.
See, I'm spitting, and here's the reason why. I agree with what you say, Andy and Roger. Like, I do think it's going to be a pitching dominant thing, but here's what I really think. I like what Roger's saying, but that only benefits the Guardians, because if the Guardians pitching is what they're as elite as what we think it is, and we can lose Bieber, and I agree with Andy that we'll still be elite, then our hitting, like being station to station, only helps us, because let's be real, the Guardians farm system when it comes to hitters blows, and it's blown for the last 10 years. So unless we need an abundance of pitching where we can actually trade some of it and get some hitters, but actually the new baseball is what Roger calls the dead ball era, is what he said. Actually only benefits us, really. We can't hit home runs anyway.
Exactly. If they had live ball right now, we'd be in last place.
We'd be in trouble.
We'd have 8 wins, 9 wins.
Yeah.
Because we don't have big sticks like that. We got guys that hit baseball. Yeah. Yep.
All right. Okay, we got 2 more. This is going to be a fun one. All right, and Ed, you already sort of weighed in on this one, but let's go. With Carolina, the Jets hosting the Steelers, and at the Atlanta Falcons, the Browns will go 3-1 or better through that stretch. And we're assuming, obviously, Watson is not going to be playing those games. I will start this one off, and I'm spitting. Obviously, those are 4, as Ed put it, red meat type teams. Atlanta is so bad. Jets are, I think, on their way maybe somewhere, but who knows? Carolina has no identity whatsoever. Steelers, that'll be a bloodbath. But with Jacoby Brissett, I'm just, whenever you have your backup in, you want to hope for 500. If we hit 500, that's great. If we do better, it's fun. I'm not expecting anything better than 500. So go 2-2 through that stretch, and then hopefully you get Watson back. I do not expect any more than that, so I'm spitting. Clyde.
Wow, you made me think, Andy, because I was going to chug, but you're right with the backup situation. But I'm going to chug. I'm going to chug on it. They're going to go. What happened? Oh, did you say?
I would get yelled at. Andy would yell at me if I did that.
Did you call on Noodle?
I did, but usually we go clockwise in this game. But when you have something to say, you just say it. You're allowed.
I wasn't here last week. I didn't get that memo. I didn't know that we went to clock. I thought we were counterclockwise. I might as well just finish. No, I think we're going to take 3-1. I just don't want to lose to the fucking Steelers. And that's the one that worries me if it is a backup, because it's just Mike Tomlin and it's the Steelers. And we could go 1-3. And as long as we beat the Steelers, I'd be more happy than going 3-1, losing to the Steelers almost. So, yeah. Hey, Noodle, go ahead.
3-1. We'll spit on that. Like I said, it's tough to know until we see what happens with Watson. But 3-1's tough to do with Jacoby Brissett back there.
Yeah.
I mean, you're also going to have to play Desmond Ridder, who doesn't lose football games. You got to throw against Sauce Gardner, who doesn't give up touchdown passes. So, the Cincinnati Bearcats out there are going to be tough to beat. So, I'll be happy with 2-2.
All right. Fair enough. Roger, why don't you go next?
I already went. You want me? I could give a completely different answer if you want.
No, I was hoping Ed would go when I called for Roger.
No, I would. I mean, I'm best behavior. I'll wait till I'm called on, Andy.
All right, Ed. Let's see what you got.
Okay.
You've heard our
This is the Homer podcast. Jessica in Oklahoma, you are okay. The Browns will not win 1, not 2, not 3, but they will win 4 games.
Yes.
No, even with Jacoby Brisket or Brissett or whatever his name is. I mean, this team was 3-1 the last 2 years with a certain quarterback that people were riding with. So I think they're going to be fine. And 4-0. You guys need to stop being losers in Cleveland. Expect better.
All right. Ed calling us losers. We deserve it.
Yes.
Okay, the final question of Spit Sip Chug. Roger, I'm going to announce right now we're starting with you. So it's very clear. There's no confusion.
Okay.
If the Cleveland Browns come up short of the playoffs this season, Stefanski's goose might not be cooked, but his name will be significantly in the hot seat.
Oh, me?
Yeah. I thought I made that abundantly clear.
I'm going to sip on this. I'm going to sip on this because I think Kevin Stefanski said, hold on a minute, we're going to bring Deshaun Watson in, and he might not play 6 games, he might play 8 games, and then if we don't make the playoffs, are you going to fire me? I don't know. I don't think that would happen. I think if Deshaun Watson played 17 games this season and he'll make the playoffs, who came up with whose grandfather wrote his goose is cooked on that? That's a very old saying. So yeah, I read that. I'm spitting out of.
All right. I am chugging. This team is all in, and yes, Stefanski might have a little bit of an excuse if watching. Watson gets suspended for a decent amount of time, but they did this to get to the playoffs. We do not have time to wait for the team to develop. So if it is not a playoff season, there is going to be a lot of controversy, and Andrew Berry will be thinking about making a move, is my guess. Noodle, and I do mean noodle.
We'll chug on it. Yeah, they're trying to win now. And if they don't, it's got to be somebody's fault. And Stefanski's low man on the totem pole when it comes to those type of decisions. So, you don't have a long leash when you're a coach in the NFL, especially when you're a coach of the Cleveland Browns. So 2 disappointing seasons back to back, especially with the investments this year, he'd be in some trouble.
All right, Ed.
Just like everything that's in Berea, it's calculated. I'm going to sip like Roger.
Ugh.
Yes, of course, if he misses the playoffs next year, he's going to be on the proverbial hot seat. But in Berea, it's probably one of those seats that he can probably control himself because it's warm, like, those heated car seats for your butt. Because everybody will know that if Stefanski doesn't make the playoffs this year, he's going to have that next year, that, I'm saying, that 4 season, whatever, like that. So he's going to have that. And if you don't make the playoffs that year, then he's gone. So I think it's going to, he knows he's on the hot seat. It's not going to be like one of those, oh, it's so, we just know the expectation. If he doesn't get it, we know that Andrew Berry will just pick his next coach.
We've already seen Andrew Berry, though, when Baker wasn't having a very good season all the way back in November, he started saying, okay, we got to find the replacement.
Exactly. Yeah.
Barry's going to be looking for Stefanski's replacement before he fails to make the playoffs.
He might, honestly, if he doesn't make the playoffs this season, in the offseason, he may kick some things. And like Stefanski, you got 1 more year. You don't make the playoffs, I'm probably going to. Yeah, he probably will be betting people in his head 9 months in advance. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Roger, sorry, you were saying.
No, I'd just like to change my answer.
Feel free. Change your answer.
No. Okay. Go ahead.
All right. Well, that was an excellent edition of Spit Sip Chug. Thank you to everyone. Oh, I wanted to get Ross's opinion on that one.
Yeah,
Ross,
where's
I feel
Ross?
like you've been cast to the side on this podcast. So,
I would have chimed in if I didn't hear enough answers from you guys. But I've got the 16-ounce Miller Lite that I think I saw Noodle had, the Guardians one. So I'm gonna chug.
What Guardians?
But I also think, since you didn't say he got fired in that statement, I definitely have to chug. Obviously, he'd be on the hot seat if he didn't make the playoffs with a franchise quarterback.
I agree.
That they sold out everything to go get.
Thank you, Andy.
All right.
Even their soul, as you think.
Okay.
Johnson, NFL.
Now we're going to let's do Ed School. Ed School is always fun.
Oh,
we
yeah.
didn't do Ed School last week. Ed, you won the previous 2 weeks in a row. 3 weeks?
Does he have his PhD now?
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. I said this here, Ed, and I will say I've been listening to you on these other podcasts that you're on, and you have been getting better. And it's because of my tutelage.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate what I've done for you. Thank me. Anyway,
you're turning into me. I love
Andy.
this. I love this.
Andy,
yeah.
All of Twitter appreciates what you have done, Andy.
Yeah.
The fine tuning.
It's so funny. Ed
Yes.
Ed was in a mood today, and he left a bunch of chats, and you should have seen all the people piling on. Like, oh, thank God he's out of here. He's so annoying.
Oh my goodness, I can imagine.
Yeah, it was bad.
I'm a little conspiracy guy. I'm a little nuts in the head. Some might say, like Nixon was. I keep listening to everything. I don't doubt it for a minute. I all you sons of bitches are conspiring.
A couple people though were upset that you left. I will say that, but it was 50.
God bless them. God bless them.
He looked like Norton in the jail cell just now when he did that. Oh, it's a conspiracy. That's what it reminds me of.
It's a good movie.
Warden Norton.
Thank you.
All right. So, Noodle, we're going to ask if you are willing to participate in Ed's School. Basically, we're going to ask you and Ed a statement. You're going to give a quick, succinct answer. Ed's going to give his answer. I think actually Ed has to go first because he won last week. Yeah. And then the three of us are going to grade who gave the better answer, and the winner wins. So are you willing to play against Ed in Ed's School?
Sure.
All right. So, Ed, you're going to go first. Noodle, you can hear the question and you can think about your answer. You get a little bit of time, which makes it plays in your favor. So, Ed, what would you say to someone that you care about that questions how you can support a team with a quarterback facing the allegations that Watson is?
Well, Andy, that person that I care about would probably be the reflection in the mirror. And I'd say to that person, you're looking pretty fly today. But I'd also say this. We love Cleveland over the Browns, and we love the Browns over any one person, and that's how I justify it. It's just like anything, any institution. You know, there's people that corrupt it or whatever, but you still like the sanctity and what that institution does for you and for the public. And I believe the Cleveland Browns, they do a civic pride. Their civic duty is to fulfill the hearts and souls of Cleveland with joy. And sometimes we don't always get it, but at least it brings the community together. So that's how I looked at person. And then I tell that person I care about, me, of course. I love me some me, and let's have a great day. Thank you.
All right. Great answer. I do have a follow-up question, but we'll let Clyde answer first. So, same question.
That was a long answer. I kind of forgot the question. I'm going
to repeat it. It's
for supporting Deshaun Watson?
If someone you care about question how you can support a team that has a quarterback facing the allegations that Watson is facing.
Well, when you're sober going into Muni Light, you tell yourself you're not going to support the Browns that day, and so you don't have to deal with yourself when you're in the right state of mind. Then you just drink about 15 to 20 Miller Lights in Muni Light. You roll into the stadium. You don't even know who's playing quarterback anymore. You're just cheering for the Browns.
All right.
Wow.
The two very good answers. I have a follow-up question, Fred. You said that if you support Cleveland, you also support the Browns to a lesser extent, any player that can help us win. What if somehow Joe Biden helped us win? Would you support him then?
I'm riding with Biden all the way to that Lombardi Trophy, Andy. I love Cleveland first and foremost. Cleveland 216. Right. I said, yeah, thank you.
That helps me. So, Roger, I'm going to start with you. Who had the better answer there?
Wow. That one. When Ed gave his answer when he started out, man, it was fire. Then, like halfway through, I was waiting for him to like a phone number to flash across the bottom of the screen and me to send money because he sounded like a preacher on TV at that point. And then Noodle was just get fucking drunk and stagger into the stadium and yell. So I'm gonna give it to Ed.
All right.
Because he didn't ask me for any money at the end.
Okay. Ross, who had the better answer there?
Well, I could say since I've been a season ticket holder, I've been to a handful of games with Noodle, and nothing's really changed. Yeah, you get drunk. You might not even be sure who's playing, even though you had Baker for a few years starting. You're not sure who the quarterback is because of PTSD from past Browns seasons. So I got to say he got it, and I agree with Roger. Ed sounded like he's in Columbus because he works for the state of Ohio or something as a politician and not as a county auditor.
So you're saying Noodle had the better answer, right?
Obviously, yeah.
So
it's a bad hangover.
Did I even have to give my answer to say
hangover.
that?
I just had to make sure
everybody knew.
So is it 1-1?
1-1.
That would be correct.
So I have to break the tie. And I gotta say, like, Ed, I was so like, I can't pick any other one. Like, you started that answer so good, you were gonna win this regardless. But then you trailed on. You drove
I
down.
gave you a follow-up question. I
follow-up question, which was good. You
was
answered that
was
pretty
fire,
well.
straight fire.
You're right. That's good.
Happy anniversary, Andy. Happy anniversary.
Okay, let me ask Clyde a follow-up question, and then this is gonna help me
He
answer.
didn't take his picture with me. Give me this one. I tried to get a picture at the tailgate. He don't take a picture with me. I'm not letting him. Look, I'll walk out. He wins, I walk out. I'm done.
First
I'm
of
done
all,
with the show.
you went up to everyone and got selfies. You didn't ask him for a selfie.
Yes, I did. Yes,
He
I
said
did.
no.
He said no. Look, I respect the answer. Look, if you don't want to pick, that's fine. I respect the answer. I mean, look, like rising stars, fine. In pictures like Michael Jackson when he was in the Jackson 5, and then you know what I'm saying? Fine. You don't want the picture? Fine.
Oh man. See, this is influencing my answer. Now I want to give it to Noodle so bad because that's amazing that he just said no.
Yeah, but that's not. See, you got to separate those.
All right, I gotta ask one follow-up question. If you gave the answer, I'm just gonna get so drunk I won't care. What if the person says, "Well, you're sober now. How can you support the team sober?" Are you just going to have a good time, or do you actually care about the Browns? How would you answer that question?
I mean, you always care about the Browns. You just hate who's playing quarterback. So you erase that part of your mind that recognizes who the quarterback is. And it's just love the Browns that's left.
All right. So it's just a hired mercenary. You don't care. You can just separate them. I respect it.
Yes.
I'm saying you have to erase your mind.
Deep helps.
I hate that I have to do this, but I'm going to have to go with that in Columbus on this one. You win again.
Yes.
Well, it was very close, though. It could have gone either way.
So, actually, I like his answer of erasing your mind. Here's the problem. That's why I like your follow-up question, Andy. Noodle, you'd have to erase your mind 24/7, and then how could you function in reality? Because eventually, like I said, like to Andy's point, the drunk wears off, and the soberness of the fact that look at who our quarterback is. And you're saying, well, that's why you got to erase your mind. Well, you'd have to erase your mind. You'd have to be drunk at 2:00 on a Monday.
So,
well,
most of our show is.
Yeah,
My Browns never lived in reality. If you lived in reality with your Browns fandom, you weren't there in 2000.
I agree. Well, I don't disagree.
That is very true.
Myself, Deshaun Kaiser was the answer for all 16 weeks that he lost.
Me too.
I don't. My Browns fandom doesn't live in reality.
I respect
very
that.
true. All right.
Well
Ross,
said.
I think you have a amazing new bit that we're going to feature on the Dawg Chug. We don't really know anything about it, so why don't you explain?
All right. So, as Ed kind of hinted at, he got to meet Noodle at the Top Dog tailgate. Very upset over a selfie, but most importantly, when we were heading out, Ed was handing out handshakes, hugs, kissing babies, and Mr. Clyde himself denied Ed a hug. And if you saw the look on his face about the selfie, just imagine the look on his face when he was denied wrapping his arms around a tall male.
You're my favorite person, by the way.
So anyways,
Ross is my favorite.
we're gonna do a segment called Hug, Chug, or Mug. And I have 5 famous people or people you may know. And you have to pick if you're gonna hug them, chug with them, or mug them. But here's the catch. You have 2 hugs, 2 chugs, and 1 mug.
That's brilliant. Who
That's
came up with
hard.
that?
I don't know. Some ideas were floating around that production meeting, but ultimately we came up with it as a team.
All right, so we're not going to know. You're going to give us a name. We all have to answer. We're not going to know the other 4
So
names.
I have my own list on my phone here. So you guys have no clue who it is.
Right.
Okay, so first up, hug, chug, or mug. Jose Ramirez of the Guardians. We'll
Who starts?
We'll start with good old Clyde.
I mean, what's the difference between hug and chug here? Which one's
It's up to you. You can, if you'd rather hug him, or would you rather drink a beer with him? It could be your own.
What does mugging mean? What does mugging mean?
You're gonna mug the person. That one's the most self-explanatory.
I kind of thought that. I just wanted to make sure for
You
the
guys
audience.
can use your own thoughts on those, but with Jose Ramirez, what would you do?
We'll go with a hug for Hosey.
All right. So
For all-
one hug off the board for Clyde.
Yeah. I don't like hugs. We'll get those out of the way early.
Is it on me now?
Yes.
Yes.
So I would
So go.
really like to chug a beer with Jose Ramirez, but he's very wealthy now after his new contract. So he might be a good candidate to mug. I'm a little bit torn.
Yes.
Plus, he wears a
Wow.
lot of jewelry, which means you're gonna get a lot out of the mug. So you
I
know
wish I
what?
would have won.
Fuck it, I'm gonna mug him.
Well, there you go. All right.
You know what?
Ed.
I'm going to answer that. I'm going to say the same thing. But Andy, I'm going to mug him first. But I'm going to get to him before you get to him. Because you know what? I'm straight jacking him. You know what I'm saying? Sign that big contract. I know we could have got more in the free. But seriously, guys, Jose Ramirez in Cleveland. Who else you going to mug? I'm going after that cat. And hopefully he hits a game-winning home run the next game. But I'm straight mugging him.
I mean,
All right.
you're already accused of stealing people's tweets. Now you're just gonna steal my exact answer, and you're gonna say I did it first, even though I came up with it.
I won't even argue. That was a good joke. I won't even argue, Andy.
All right, Roger.
Man, I love Jose Ramirez. I wouldn't mug him. I know some people in Collinwood with no future that if I call them, they'll mug him. But I love Jose Ramirez. I'd have to hug him, man. He's just a baseball player, man. And I'm just watching him. Last night he struck out, loaded to end the game, and I wasn't even mad at him. I love Jose Ramirez. I want to hug him.
All right,
All right. So next up, we got the President of the United States, Mr. Joe Biden. We'll go in the same order again. So, Noodle.
I guess we'll go Doug on this one.
He wants to
You're
spit.
chugging with Joe B.
You can't mug someone that fragile. That turns into murder. And I mean, you don't want to hug Joe Biden.
Oh boy.
Hair.
Get a little touchy.
We're just by default.
Oh boy. Oh boy.
Little handsy Ross.
Oh boy.
I was literally, you stole my answer. I am going to hug him so that maybe I can get like inflation and gas prices under control, because I think that would kill him. And I voted for Joe Biden. I'm not saying, it's not
Right. Let's not get to. I don't want the Secret Service knocking on my door tomorrow.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, if I give him a hug, he might not survive it. I don't know. I mean, he seems healthy, but maybe he's not. Who knows? I'm just gonna hug him. See, if something happens, something happens.
We're gonna hug him.
See, I'm torn. I'm torn because I want to chug a beer with him because I can think to myself, maybe there's a reason for his incoherent thoughts. But then I want to hug him because.
Sorry, I have to break in really quick.
Yeah,
I would love to see you chug a beer with Joe Biden because I don't know who would chug it faster.
Yes.
I think Joe Biden can out-chug you.
Yeah, I think he can.
I think he can too. Okay, so that's why I'm rolling with the hugging, because honestly, I feel bad for him. Every time he has a speech and he turns around to shake somebody's hand that's not there, or he walks aimlessly backwards, and you just want to hug him because you know what? Maybe you're helping him from being the next person to say, I've fallen and I can't get up. Don't make Joe be in that commercial or be the next dude in that. So yeah, I'm gonna give him a hug. Because I do think he can out chug me still.
All right, Roger.
Okay. I just I'd have to drink with him. I'm not hugging him. He's already smells like the corpse already. Poor old man stumbling and bumbling around, and I feel bad for him, but I'm not hugging him. I'm going to drink with him because sure as hell I ain't mugging the President of the United States, the Secret Service. I would never think of that.
Russ, this is a great bit, by the way. Good job.
All right, third one. We got the legend of the Cleveland Browns post 1999, Joe Thomas.
Oh, Joe Thomas.
Noodle, you start.
You got to drink a beer with Joe Thomas, obviously.
Oh,
that's self-explanatory. Browns legend, fellow Midwesterner. There's no other option there.
Right.
Andy?
100% I'm chugging with him. It's the only thing I could do that might impress him to some extent. So I would just chug 5 beers with him or whatever. And he might be able to keep up with me. It'd be amazing. That would be way better than hugging him. So easy answer.
Edward?
Look, I'm straight mugging him, and here's why. You guys in Cleveland, once again, you guys celebrate a guy, okay, that
You already used your mug.
You get 2.
Yeah, you can't. You can only mug
You
one
only
person.
get one
Ed.
Oh, you
mug.
can only mug one? Oh.
I thought it was 2 each.
I do have a mute button.
Well, okay, then I'm gonna. I don't know. I don't want to do anything with him. I feel like you guys celebrate a guy that never touched the football and never went to a playoffs.
Never touched a football?
Yeah, he doesn't touch a football.
Never?
Has he ever caught a touchdown pass?
No.
Ed.
Thank you.
Not in the pro.
I guess I'm chugging a beer with him. Why not? And we can talk about Ohio State beating Wisconsin.
You, Ed, you have got to meet my friend Joe. He has the Twitter account like Joe Thomas is overrated, and he makes the same case you do.
He's not overrated. It's just you guys I don't understand the love for
Which is what the overrated means, you fucking idiot. Like we get carried away loving a guy that's not deserving of the love.
You do that with everybody though in Cleveland. You do it with Jarvis too.
All right, so we are going to keep going. Yeah, Roger, what's up?
I'm hugging Joe Thomas because he spent all those years in that locker room and he never wanted to leave. He never bitched. You never heard him complain. He was always positive. And every football team he was on was just so fucking bad. And the man was just a constant. He's a professional, and he represented the city of Cleveland. And yeah, man, he never touched a football. He never did. But Ed, I'll tell you what, I'll change my vote if you line up defensive and rush today. You get around Joe Thomas.
I was trying to mug him, but you guys you don't have another mug left.
I want to see you mug him.
I guarantee when you said that he's never wanted to leave Cleveland, that is absolutely not true. I guarantee there's been like a number of occasions he's like, I gotta get the fuck out of here.
Oh, I'm sure there's a million times where he said it, but he never did it.
He never did.
I've said it a million times.
All right.
Fuck.
So we're on to number 4. So you guys each have 2 options left, depending on whatever you already used. Number 4 is Ed in Columbus. Would you hug Ed? Would you chug with him? Or would you mug him?
All right.
Well, I'm going to hug myself.
Noodle?
I mean, I haven't used mug yet, so I have to, and it's just the perfect time to use it. You know, meeting for the first time, I didn't realize people were still that short these days. You thought they had evolved to a point where people grew past 5'5" at, at peak stature, but Ed surprised me. And so I couldn't mug very many people, but there's a possibility, I could pull it off on Ed.
All right.
Joke's on you. I would rather mug who I mugged than I mean, seriously, you ain't getting much, sucker. You ain't getting much.
It's not about getting much. It's about me not dying in the process.
He's got to mug someone. He only has 5 options. He's picking you as the guy.
Andy?
I respect it. I'm glad I already used my mug because anyone that flashes a bunch of $20 bills on Twitter doesn't have a fucking dime. They're poor. So I would not mug Ed. He doesn't have shit.
Fake news.
I think when Ed ran into the tailgate, he hugged me and, actually you hugged me and then we chugged a beer together. So I did both.
Yeah.
Although I didn't chug my beer. I chugged like half of it.
Yeah, you no, what
Poser.
I was so overwhelmed with emotions from seeing you, and plus the hug was very disturbing. So I'm gonna hug you. That's my answer.
Fair enough.
Ed, what do you got about yourself?
I said I was gonna hug myself.
Of course, Ed. Yeah, Ed.
Oh, he hugged himself. All right. Roger?
Do you ever put say when you're a kid, like teenager, you put a girl on a pedestal, or because we're all guys, I'll say a girl or a person or and man, you just you just adored this person and couldn't wait, just dreamed every night. And then like maybe later on in life, you like actually hook up with this person. And you're like, oh wow, that's a lot of wasted. That was a lot of when Ed hugged me at the thing. I was so like that was a little underwhelming. But then because he was bouncing around and being Mr. Social. But then me and Ed, yeah, I would. I can't chug with them, and I'm not mugging them like Andy said. I want to give them money, and I don't have fucking any. So I would definitely hug Ed.
Oh,
all right. I think
So
is this the last one?
The last one. So everyone's got one left. So you're kind
tell
of
us
stuck
what
with.
we're doing with the last one.
You got to use what you have left.
Okay.
So the last one is Mr. Vladimir Putin of Russia.
oh.
So,
right.
Noodle, what did you have left?
I've chugged 2 beers, I feel like, right? So I either have to hug Putin or mug him.
I think
You already mugged me.
You,
So you gotta hug him.
you got 5 things, so you'd have
gotta-
one left.
You got to hug Putin.
You gotta hug him. You gotta hug him.
Kind of hug Putin. It's XKGB though. That's kind of exciting.
I mean, if you mug him, you're going to die. So whatever.
Well,
Hug him.
you had a good life.
I have left that I have one chug left, so I would chug with Putin. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Ed, what did you have left?
I get to chug with Putin. It'll be fun.
Roger, what did you have?
Definitely. I'm gonna do shots of vodka with Putin. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, vodka all day. So
I lived during the Cold War. I was a 16, 17 years old during that. So
that concludes yet another segment with the word chug in it. Maybe we'll get a new one next week.
beer.
All right. I'm gonna Ross, I'm gonna say goodbye so you can produce. And we're gonna get down to our
That
final.
was great.
This is exciting. All right. So let me throw a little bit here. I don't know if you guys like listen to a lot of podcasts, but everyone does this super lame thing where they go through the schedule and they go, oh, the Browns are going to beat Pittsburgh and then they're going to lose to they go through the whole schedule. They're going to end up 11-5. Like everyone pretty much comes up with 11-6. Sorry. Because
Andy, we're not doing a schedule game.
we are going to do a schedule game. The Dawg Chug version of the schedule game.
Oh,
Because
well, that's
it's
different.
incessantly boring listening to people forecast. Because like we even fucking know what a team's going to be like at week 15 with the injuries they're going to be dealing with. Like, could anyone in the Browns have determined that Baker Mayfield is going to tear his labrum and that was going to be an issue? And, I mean, it's such nonsense, so boring.
Right.
So we aspire to do better. And
Yes.
I don't know if anyone that watched last week. Obviously, Noodle, you didn't watch. We actually had this amazing opportunity to go a year into the future, and I had an interview with myself, which was really cool. So I got to learn a lot about what's coming. The audience got to learn. I actually was able to do an offline interview where my future 1 year from now self told me all kinds of things that are about to happen. So we're not just, predicting where the Browns are going to win and where they're going to lose. We actually have firsthand knowledge of how the 2022 season is going to go. So I know people don't like spoilers. So big spoiler alert. If you don't want to know, where the Browns are going to win and where they're going to lose, just sign off the podcast now. You're
I'm sure they already did.
Or
easy you've listened to this long. But,
or let's meet up in Vegas. One or the other.
Well, yeah, that's the other thing. If you want to make some money, obviously, I'm going to give you all the results, so you can basically just go make an unlimited amount of money. You could turn $1 into you'd win 17 times. I don't know. It's like $1 million. So pretty exciting, right?
When Noodle mugs me, I'll actually have money.
You would have money. So I want to turn it into a game. So I think what I'm going to do is we're going to alternate. I'm going to set up the game, and then Roger, I'll start with you. You'll make a prediction if you think the Browns are going to win or lose that game, and then I'm actually going to do the recap and explain what happened in that game. And we'll see who between Roger and Noodle who can get the most games correct.
Oh,
Whoever
so me
does, whoever gets the most right gets to pick the 17th game. And if you win that, you get a chance to win $1 million. So sound good?
Yeah, I'm in. I'm in. $1 million. Wait till you see my basement if I win.
Ed, can you do me a favor?
Yes,
Can you
Dad. Yeah.
bring up the schedule and at least introduce the game? Like where
Yeah.
week
Absolutely.
1, what's going on? I got the first one. So Roger, the question to you is the Browns are heading to Carolina week 1. I'll give you a little bit of information. I was told that unfortunately Watson is suspended for 4 games.
Okay.
So we will not have him for this game. Do we win this game or do we lose this game?
We win this game, and Jacoby Brissett looks like Jacoby Brissett that everybody wanted when he was in New England, and everybody's like, "Oh my God, yes, Jacoby Brissett!" And then he's the quarterback shows up for game 1, and we win. It'll be the first time we win. Yes.
This is going to be a very wordy segment, so let's just keep it.
Oh, okay. That's okay. Yes. All right. Sure. If you want, I'll go on vacation again.
Please never go on vacation again. Or if you do, go on like a Sunday or something. All right. So, Jacoby Brissett does come in for the first game, and he was brought in for a reason, and he claims he is ready to roll. While Chubb does the best he can to carry the team, Jacoby unfortunately has 2 lost fumbles and a pick 6 in the first half. And then when he comes out of the second half, he badly sprains his ankle. And as he's scrambling for first down on like 3rd and 6, and he's knocked out of the game, unfortunately. This is what actually happened. So just Dobbs comes in as the backup, right? And he has a bunch of 3 and outs. And then in the 4th quarter, he gets a brutal sack, doesn't get up. He's out.
Oh no.
So this sets up a short field. The Browns are down 10 with 5 minutes on the clock, and Baker Mayfield walk into the huddle. First play, he throws a touchdown to Donovan Peoples-Jones. The defense does their thing to get the ball back, and Baker gets the ball on our own 25 with just 1 minute left.
We lost.
Marches down the field with efficiency, and instead of playing it safe to tie the game, Baker throws a dart in a double coverage, and rookie David Bell catches the game winner, and the Browns win their second opener since the return. Roger, you got that one right.
Yes.
This is fantasy land.
No, this happens. This happens.
It went a whole different way than I thought it would go, but in the end, a W is a W. I'll take it.
Jessica's excited. Okay, so now we are 1-0. Ed in Columbus, what's our next matchup?
In week 2, we got the Jets at the Browns.
So the home opener against the Browns. Noodle, do we win this game or do we not?
I'm going to say it's a win.
All right. Well, I will say Browns Twitter, if you think it's polarized and crazy now, you can't even imagine after Baker comes and wins us a game. A record number of Browns fans get their accounts blocked as everyone argues Baker's future after witnessing him play so well in the 4th quarter. But it's all for naught as Baker goes on the herd with Collinsworth and blasts Andrew Berry and Kevin Stefanski, and ultimately he is unfortunately suspended 1 game for conduct detrimental to the team. So Brissett is a game time.
A lot of drama going on next year.
It is a lot of drama. It's a Brown season. Brissett is a game time decision to play in the home opener against the Jets, but he's clearly in pain. He loses his mobility, and despite 1 lone Nick Chubb touchdown, the offense is completely shut down, and the Browns lose to the Jets 27-7.
Oh, wow.
1-0 Roger. Okay. Well, week 3.
We got a lot of game left to go. Noodle, shake it off. You're gonna do great. I know. All right, sorry.
Future Andy's a bummer.
So Thursday night, Pittsburgh at Cleveland, week 3.
All right, Roger do the Browns beat the Pittsburgh Steelers in the primetime game?
The way things have been going in the future, it's hard to believe that the Browns are going to be. I'm going to say no. We take the L.
All right. Well, the Baker wars continue as Browns claim they've talked to Baker and are going to put this behind them and focus on winning. Baker plays a game for the ages against the Steelers as he throws 4 touchdowns and runs in another one. Kenny Pickett starts the second half and fumbles twice, which are both scooped up by Myles Garrett, who runs into the end zone. Final on this one is 63-3 as the Browns improve to 2-1 and Roger falls to 1-1.
How did I know that was going to happen?
Well, wait till week 4 Let's keep going here. Week 4, the Browns are in the ATL to play the Atlanta Falcons.
All right. Noodle, what do you think?
Baker seems to be establishing a pattern of playing a game and getting suspended for a game, so we're going to go Falcons win.
All right. Well, this is crazy. Offers begin pouring in for Baker, who bizarrely states he will not play another snap for the Cleveland Browns until he's traded. And while there are plenty of rumors and people saying it's about to happen, including Connor, he keeps saying at 4 p.m., game day comes with 6 still on the roster. And unfortunately, Jacoby's ankle still isn't responding to treatment. Dobbs is actually placed on IR, so it's Felix Harper's time as he's elevated from the practice squad.
There we go.
But he is able to do enough to win ugly against a terrible Atlanta team, 9-6. Browns improve to 3-1.
Oh,
and Clyde, you are 0-2 right now.
Well, that's awesome. The 3-1 Cleveland Browns then come home to play the Los Angeles Chargers.
All right. Roger, do we win that game at home against the Chargers?
You know
And
what?
This is the game Watson comes back for, by the way.
This is the game Watson comes back for. Watson's playing, supposedly, for now, tentatively. Watson's playing. I'm going to say we get the W.
All right. So here's the recap from the future Manch himself. The Chargers roll into town, but unfortunately Watson is once again available, and reports from practice are he looks better than ever, and the excitement is through the roof. It even drowns out the fans that still aren't sure how they feel about Watson being brought into Cleveland. But when the Browns offense is being introduced, we're celebrating the moment with a roar louder than anything First Energy's seen. And Watson is so fired up, he trips over the bar of the giant helmet that was partially hidden by smoke machines. And he was doing this with his helmet. So he unfortunately falls head first into the field. Into a photographer. Their skulls hit, and he is ruled out with concussion. Fortunately, Barry signed a new backup quarterback, but unfortunately, it's AJ McCarron was the best he could get. And a lot of Hugh Jackson jokes surface as AJ has a QB rating of 11, and the Browns lose 33-0 and fall to 3-2.
What happened to the defense?
What happened to Felix Harper? Wins can't even start coming off a win.
Yeah.
Somehow the facts went through took 3 years. And I got the facts.
Better late than never, they say. Well, after that beatdown, they come back at home, they say, against New England to play the Patriots. This should be fun.
That absolutely can happen. That's Cleveland, Andy. This is
I don't care. You got to think.
I think future Andy's right on the button.
Did Dan interview this person?
All right, Noodle. Do we beat the Patriots in Cleveland?
Yes.
Okay. So actually, with the 2022 season going in the wrong direction, the night before the game, Coach Stefanski, reeling from the stress, is pulled over and charged with a DWI.
Oh, geez.
Yeah.
The Browns suspend him for the game. Fans hoping for another victory when their coach is not on the sidelines are disappointed when the Browns lose to the Patriots as Watson is still in concussion protocol. Jacoby is still hobbled and AJ still sucks. Browns once again lose to the Patriots with the same scores last year, 7-45, and drop to 500, 3-3. So right now, I think it's 0-3 to Roger. You're 1-2. Roger,
Wow.
back to you, Ed. What's week 7 got for us?
Week 7 has the Cleveland Browns going to the charmed city of Baltimore to play the Baltimore Ravens.
Ooh. Do we beat the Baltimore Ravens, Roger, in Cuyahoga Falls? Roger first.
We're due for a W, but the way that next season looks like it's going, and no, I'm gonna. It's just typical. You know what? I already feel like I'm living it, and I'm accepting it already.
We're gonna make money off it. Don't worry, Roger.
And
make money off it.
I'm gonna say we lose that game because that's just the way what happens in Cleveland.
Jessica just said Andy's disappearance from group chats for the last week makes sense as I listen to this bit. That is very true. There's been a lot of nonsense. All right, so the Browns head to Baltimore, and who have been Lamar Jackson feud with Baltimore has been growing and growing and growing with intensity, and it gets to the point where Baltimore, in a move nobody saw coming, benches it and gives Cleveland a first-round draft pick to take Baker Mayfield. Baker is initially contained by Myles Garrett and Clowney, getting to him 5 times in the first half. But on the final play of the first half, Baker throws the go-ahead touchdown.
Don't you say it.
Myles Garrett gets his second targeting call of the game and is ejected. In the second half, Baker can't do anything wrong as he leads the Ravens to 26 second-half points, and they win 36-14 as the Browns drop to 3-4, and the calls for Coach Stefanski's head continue to grow.
Wow, and those.
You know what though? I got the W on that one. So, like every Brown season since '99, you know, you take your lumps, but you come out ahead.
All right, Noodle. We're at week 8. Ed, set us up, please.
Well, those calls for Stefanski's heads roll into Monday night on Halloween as the Cincinnati Bengals visit the Cleveland Browns. Spooky.
Good job, Ed. Do we beat the Cincinnati Bengals?
Yes, Burrow can't beat the Browns. That's a fact.
So, what many people say is a must-win game against the Bengals. Watson has recovered from concussion protocol, and he promises the team is going to win out. Unfortunately, not having played football in 22 weeks, he is rusty, and his passes look similar to Baker after tearing his labrum. The boos begin to rain down on First Energy as the Browns are only able to muster 6 points in the first half. Fortunately, the Browns defense steps up, and Cincy's potent passing attack is completely shut down. Browns are able to hold on to a 3-point lead and send the Bengals home with their first defeat of the season, and the Browns approved head into the bye at 4-4. Wow.
I like that.
Ross just hilariously said that future Andy told me Andy is still drinking natties in 2023. That's very true. I think, oh my God.
I approve of those. Those are really good.
Baby Manch had something he wanted to say.
What? Oh, great. We haven't heard from that foul mouth little.
Did the thought ever occur to you that maybe this was going a little long and doing 17 fucking fake game recaps is not something interesting to the audience?
God damn it. I hate this fucking kid.
Already?
Yeah, he's a little piece of shit. All right. So I think it's one in whatever. You've got 1 win and Roger has 2. Let's keep track of it that way. It's a little bit easier. Roger,
okay, go ahead. No.
Ed, what does week 10 have on the scale?
Well, week 10, it will be the Cleveland Browns they're going to South Beach, Miami Dolphins.
Roger?
I'm going to get a W. I'm going to say the Browns win. I don't even know how it's going to happen but it's Miami, and it's what already week 8? What do you say it is?
Week 10.
Week 10.
Week 10. Oh, yeah. By week 10, Miami's already done.
All
always.
Right.
They're mammal fish. That's what dolphins are. They're mammal fishes.
Excuse me. The Browns come out of the bye week looking healthy and focused. Watson vows to play better, and play better they do as they absolutely rout the Miami Dolphins on offense and defense. Jakeem Grant even gets into the action as he returns a 98-yard punt return for a touchdown. Browns win 43-10 and improve to 5-4 and are back into the wild card conversations.
Yes.
Exciting.
I'm getting excited. This, I know people are saying this might be going too long. I'm pumped up, Andy. I'm pumped up. We're 5-4. All right, well, I'm going to take that excitement, and we're heading to Buffalo for the Bills Mafia. Week 11. Let's go Browns. I'm excited, Andy. I'm really getting excited too.
Noodle?
They're losing.
All right. Okay, Week 11 Browns. Week 11 Browns have looked better, but can they play with the big boys? Is the question on Sports Talk Radio as the Browns head to Buffalo, who have looked unbeatable lately. The Browns go out to a quick 21-point lead in the first quarter, but then they get conservative as the Bills continue getting points each drive, while Browns' punting game gets a lot of work. Browns are down 6. And Watson confidently marches them down the field. And as time expires, he scrambles to his right and throws a perfect pass to Cooper, who makes 2 guys miss and falls into the end zone. The refs call that Watson was over the line of scrimmage, and while the play is reviewed, you can hear a pin drop in Highmark Stadium. The call is overturned, and Browns fans go crazy until Cade York misses the extra point, sending the game into overtime.
I don't like him. I knew there's a reason I don't like him.
Allen throws a touchdown on the first pass, and Browns fall to 5-5, and many start claiming the season is over. Clyde gets a second win. Good job.
He should have liked my tweet. That's all I'm going to say about that.
He blocks you after he misses that. Future Andy told me that you actually get blocked by him after he misses that kick. Ed
and our kicker York have a growing beef going on. There's a rivalry there that is man, it's not gonna go well. Anyway, Roger is up. Ed, what's the next game?
Well, we're gonna take that heartbreak and come home to face Tom effing Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Great. Just everybody. Tom Brady's 175 years old. He's coming here and by some the ref. I'm going to take an L on that. I'm going to say Watson had a horrible L.
All right. Well, here's what actually happens. The Browns are anxious to right last week's wrong. The Browns play good, but Brady plays better. And we enter halftime down 13-24. But in the third quarter, Clowney sacks Brady, driving him to the ground in what ends up being Brady's final NFL play in his career. Unfortunately, Clowney also breaks his leg in the violent play, and it's his final snap in the brown and orange. So it's Blaine Gabbert time for Tampa, who is no match for the Browns defense, and Cleveland pulls out the victory in the fourth to improve to 6-5.
Oh. Get it!
Roger, drop the ball. An opening for Noodle.
The most Cleveland thing ever is to destroy the GOAT's career and end his fucking career. Cleveland Tom Brady hate Cleveland for fucking ever.
Well,
all right. Well, you got 13, Ed.
Well, okay. See that after that, we got a little drama as the Cleveland Browns head to Houston to play Deshaun Watson's former team, the Texans. Oof. Nothing could happen in this game, Andy, right?
Well, let's see what Clyde thinks.
I'll say they win this one.
All right. Well, play is stopped twice in Houston as angry fans rain the field with debris and booze and actually at one point 22 fans charged the field in protest with letters on their shirts that say "Turds belong in Cleveland." Deshaun is visibly shaken by the reaction and throws 3 picks. Fortunately, the defense is able to hold Mills to just a field goal, and the Browns win another ugly one and improve to 7-5.
Oh,
so it's a tied ball game. 3 wins for all. So, Roger, we're coming back to you. Ed, what's the game?
Right.
You sure there was 22 people that
22 exactly?
Just coincidental? Or?
I'm just wondering if it's 22 exactly.
We did it in solidarity of the victims.
Oh, okay.
Is what
I don't know about you.
Told me.
But that's fair. It's Cleveland Browns drama. I love it. So then we're gonna take that winning game and we're gonna go to the jungle to play the Cincinnati Bengals on December 11th?
It's on me, huh?
It's on you.
In Cincinnati. I say we go in there and we beat Cincinnati. I'm going to take the W. Ed?
Get it.
All right. So the Bengals started the season 7-0 until the Browns kicked their ass, and now they've dropped 5 in a row. And some are wondering if Burrows is hurt. Well, the Athens product kicks it into high gear as Chase and Higgins are unstoppable, each getting over 200 yards receiving.
No.
Browns keep it close, but are unable to match and lose 27-33 and drop to 7-6, a game out of the wild card race.
I can't take this. My heart can't take this anymore, Andy.
No.
All right. What do we got for week 15?
Well, after that heartbreaking loss, we come home to play the Rat Turd Birds.
Oh, no.
The Baker Mayfield-led Rat Turd Birds.
Well, it makes it even better.
Great.
I'll say we'd lose this one.
All right. The Ravens are sitting in first place behind Baker Mayfield, who everyone is calling a lock for comeback player of the year, and some even suggest he should be considered for MVP. Browns host Baltimore as an 8-point underdog, and play gets started 5 minutes late as Browns hold a long moment of silence to commemorate Brown superfan Nick Carnes, whose head exploded trying to tweet his thoughts about Mayfield. Sorry.
I didn't hear that.
Shortly after, it's confirmed once again that Baker sucks throwing at his old home of First Energy Stadium, and he's sailing passes left and right and getting happy feet. Browns cruise behind our running game, and we win a tough division game to improve to 8-6.
Wow.
So it's still a tied ball game.
I'm still worried about Nick Carnes.
He's dead.
No use worrying.
Make sure to have good moments with Nick Carnes over the next, what do we got, like 25 weeks? Because, fortunately, he's going to.
Barking Browns, Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Check us out. We'll try to stay happy until the explosion.
We love Barking Browns. You guys were amazing last night. I still haven't watched it, but I'm sure you were.
Thank
Roger.
you,
Andy. Sorry. Ed, introduce week
Yes.
16.
Yeah.
Well, it's Christmas Eve. When the Saints come marching in, and they will the First Energy Stadium with a familiar face, that being Jarvis Juice Landry.
Do we get the W or do we lose?
It's back to me already?
Back to you.
Oh, I'm going to take the W because the Saints have just who even knows who's going to start for them, let alone be the starter on Christmas. I'm going to take a W.
All right. And here's what actually happens in this game. Browns spend Christmas Eve in the Big Easy, and Watson plays the best game of his season, getting everybody involved and looking unstoppable. It becomes trendy to say nobody wants to face the Cleveland Browns in the playoffs if they manage the impossible as they improve to 9-6.
Look at that.
Roger, you got 4 points now. So the pressure is all on Noodle to get this one right.
And that pressure is going to go to Washington as the Cleveland Browns play the Commanders. I'm still trying to get used to that. Yeah. And, they'll play that game on January 1st.
Way things are going, this feels like a loss. Maybe Watson has too good of a New Year's Eve. I don't know.
All right, here we go. Browns head to our capital on New Year's Day to take on the Commanders, and a confident Watson says he's playing some of the best football of his life and will get the job done. His confidence, however, is short-lived as his first pass is picked off for 6, and then on the ensuing possession, he is sack stripped, and Washington is up 14-0 without 1 minute off the clock. But the defense holds the Commanders to 2 field goals, but the lead seems insurmountable as Watson can't get a first down. At halftime, Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt plead for the ball, and the Browns only attempt 2 passes the rest of the game. What appears to be the final play of the game, York misses a 38-yard field goal to tie it, but the defense was offsides, giving Cleveland 1 more play. Having no confidence in their fourth-round kicker, they give the ball to Nick Chubb, who can't be stopped as guys bounce off of him. He finds daylight, is about to go in, and somehow the ball squirts out of his arms and replay confirms the fumble. The Browns fall to 9-7.
You see me, Andy? I was going there. I was going left. I was going right. I don't even have a ball to fumble in my hands.
Fucking crazy. So you guys tied. You're both at 4 correct, which means we're gonna do week 18. I think because Noodle is the guest, he gets the guest first, and Roger, you'll get the other guest. You'll get the other guest, and then that's how we'll determine who wins.
Okay.
All right. So Ed in Columbus, please set up the final game of the season.
The showdown once again isn't usually Browns coaches get fired when they go to Pittsburgh in the last game of the season afterwards, but this is going to settle a Dawg Chug classic here. Browns Steelers. Get it.
They're winning this one.
All right. So Roger, you've got them losing this one. You are such a miserable bastard. What is wrong with you?
I know.
All right. So unfortunately, the Browns need 10 different things to happen to make the playoffs. But first up is take care of business against their division rival Pittsburgh Steelers. Leading up to game week, Deshaun Watson breaks down during a presser that he's never played on a team where success was this hard, and fighting back tears admits he sometimes doubts his talent and ability is enough. In a startling turn of events, the fans that loved the addition of Watson suddenly call him soft and start criticizing the Browns for letting Baker go, who has the Ravens set to win the division with a first-round bye. The fans that were uncomfortable with Deshaun suddenly see how vulnerable he is and become fans. The Baker wars shift gears, but rage on.
The Tiger Woods move.
During the game, Watson continues to struggle, but Myles Garrett is a one-man wrecking crew until new Steelers quarterback Mason Rudolph, after a sack, gives Myles a wet willy in the scrum, who stands up and pushes Mason Rudolph back with reckless abandon. Mason trips over one of his linemen and lands awkwardly on his neck, and a stretcher is needed to carry him out. Myles is immediately ejected and suspended multiple games, which will start in the postseason if the Browns somehow make it. And even though the chips are down, the Browns fight like they've never fought before. And York's game-winning kick pushes them to 15-13 to win and finish the season at 10-7. Odds makers quickly calculate the Browns have a 11.2% chance of making the postseason with the remaining games. There you have it. That is the Browns season.
Wow.
You didn't ask your future self like what happens after that?
He told me he would reveal this in a future episode.
Fair enough.
Oh, fair enough. I'm exhausted.
I'm excited though. We got 11% chance.
I think Noodle, you got that one right, so you win the game.
Noodle won. Noodle, congratulations. You deserved that.
Down to the wire. That almost seems.
He had to sit through that 17 games. He deserves everything.
And once again, Cleveland Brown fans get something.
I told him he'd be on here for 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was. I had 7 pages of notes there in Word to get through all that. So thank you, for sitting through that. And sorry. For
I like your future son and future Andy way more than current Andy. That's all I gotta say.
I've said that for 2 weeks now.
I do end up becoming awesome. That rubs off on me. All right. Well, I want to thank Noodle so much for coming on. Dan as well. I think we're going to close this one out as we are over. But first, my unborn child wanted to send us off since I absolutely suck at it, and we all suck at it. So, everyone, get your drinks ready, and let's see what he has to say this week.
Wish I could say it was another great show, but let's be honest, you're not even trying. I'm not sure if you've actually attempted to watch other podcasts, but they do these really cool things like introduce the show, have intro music, actually dive into interesting Browns discussion beyond, oh look how cool it is to chug a beer. Are you trying to attract young viewers? Middle-aged? For Christ's sakes, I hope you put more thought into raising a child. I can already feel that crack pipe going into my little hands. Anything to escape the reality of being raised by such a loser and knowing I share genes with you. Used to think at least I'll be able to escape to college in 18 years and maybe make something with my life. But have you seen Tesla's stock price? Hopefully Roger takes me on as an apprentice so at least I'll have a chance. Sorry to depress the audience. I was actually having a fun day, but holy fuck did this past hour get me down. Ross, Roger, Ed, I know you're just having fun, but stop encouraging my dad. This awful experiment needs to come to an end, so just tell him life got a little crazy and you need to take a brief hiatus. Even hearing it, we'll still end up buying it as he's such a fucking idiot. All right, everyone drink up, and please tell Mom to chug as well. I know you're not supposed to when pregnant as fetal alcohol syndrome isn't anything to joke about, but fuck it. I'll take the risk to numb the fucking pain you caused me today. Go Browns.
All right.
Go Browns.